Go Pizza presents SCP. The Steve Dangle Podcast with your hosts, Steve Dangle. And
Welcome to Old Flame Brewery. And for anybody listening at home right now, it is hot. It is a really hot evening. Does everybody have a beer? Yeah.
Oh,
except you don't. Why not? Oh, I don't. Well, I have to stay relatively sober. Right now, anyway. Jesse will drive me home later, then we'll be okay.
So wait,
I will.
Yeah.
have we started?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, so this is the show then?
Yeah, this is the show.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the show. That's wonderful.
I just want to see, show of hands, who brought Steve's book tonight? Well, hold the book up. Hold the books up. That's pretty good.
Who needs to buy it? Because I brought a box. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, there you go. There's one. Okay.
So you're here. You're ready to hawk your books here too?
Oh, yeah. I think the book has Soshnikov'd a little bit. I rode the wave.
Uh-huh.
And now
Is it
one
falling
person
off?
needs it.
That's okay. That's okay.
Not on the bestsellers list anymore.
So, I mean, I guess round of applause here. How do we feel about how the Leafs came through after July 1st? Are we happy? Are we That's pretty good.
Really?
Oh, boy.
I'm getting a few. Cody Ceci.
Got a Cody Ceci cheer. A lot of applause followed by concerned face.
Yeah.
So I think that's about what it deserves, man.
I think so. Well, okay, so let's break it down. So we start with dumping Patrick Marleau, Connor Brown, Nikita Zaitsev, and I don't mean the players themselves. Obviously, Patrick Marleau brought what he brought. Connor Brown brought what he brought. Nikita Zaitsev did too.
Let's stop being nice about it.
Well,
no.
listen.
Listen. Oh, every time we got to acknowledge, the leadership and also leadership. And they had a lot of viral videos where they sang songs in the car and exchanged T-shirts, and it was a magical. He made $6.25 million to score 13 goals. It was time to go. I loved him too. And his perfect jawline, some of it's based in jealousy, but listen, he brought what he brought. Go! He had to go. It cost a first-round pick. Hope you enjoyed your stay. Sorry, I'm bitter. I'm very upset.
Well, I think is that, and I gotta ask this: is because you had your hand, you're like, I'm not really sure about a Leafs trade. What's your reservation? Is it the Tyson Barrie trade, which we'll get to, or is it the fact that it was like, oh man, first round pick already gone for next year? What are we gonna do at the deadline?
Well, first of all, I'm mortified about Cody Ceci.
Mortified about Cody Ceci, right?
Yes.
I think they could have found a way to do him without giving up the first round pick.
Okay. Well, so to the Marleau thing. So anybody that didn't hear it, he said, they could have tried to find a way to deal Marleau without giving up the first round pick. So your option was Kapanen, Janssen, or the first round pick. What do you want to get rid of?
Yeah.
First round pick. Yeah.
I mean, this is the thing, right? Like, they could have tried. I bet they did. I bet they did, and most teams said, ew, no. What? He makes $6.25 million. Yeah, but the leadership and what is with the low talking when it comes to Marleau? No, that was the price to get rid of him, man. That's honestly, out of the moves made, it's still not the one I'm most concerned with.
Well, is the Ottawa one you're most concerned with?
Yeah.
Okay, now, I think we have to put this in perspective, right? So sometimes you sign a bad lease for an apartment, and the apartment sucks.
Real estate.
And then you
Here's
gotta
Adam.
cut a cut bait early. And
How
I look
much
at Nikita
exposed
Zaitsev
bre-
like that, but they're like, wait a second, you need to finish out your lease. So we have one more lease on a bad deal, potentially with Cody Ceci. I don't know, maybe he's great. And next year at this time when we're all sitting here, we're going, wow, that Cody Ceci scoring the Stanley Cup winning goal as he blasted down the right wing.
That was so funny, given what we thought it would be. So funny that he scored the cup-winning goal, given that
Crazy.
we thought he'd be bad.
Crazy that he was even dressed. We wouldn't even have expected that.
Now, do you want to bring up the argument that we had earlier, at least the discussion?
Sure.
Because the Leafs had the option to just not have Cody Ceci on the roster if they're willing to wait until mid-August.
Right. Which is arbitration, right?
He would go to arbitration. He would be awarded more than $4.5 million. And once he's awarded that in arbitration, the Leafs can just walk away from him, and he's a UFA. And then we get somebody better who's not Cody Ceci. Yeah. But the Leafs seem to believe in him, that he can be a defenseman on this team and play with Riley, and I don't understand why.
So here's my question. We talked about this earlier, too. So the thing with this arbitration, and I don't know if you've got the rules in front of you right now.
I can bring it up.
But I thought with this arbitration, if Cody Ceci wins the arbitration and it's like 5.3, 5.4 million, which they expect that he would, then the Leafs are obligated to pay it. And that's the thing is that I don't know if in this situation the Leafs could have walked away from it. Or if it was the case and they decided to just stick with it, I also wonder. We just need warm bodies. We need somebody that's played in the NHL.
I like we don't know whether or not the Leafs could have walked away from it thing, because every time a deal like this happens, it used to just be, so-and-so got, I'm going way back in the day. At the deadline, this team acquired Keith Tkachuk. And I go, wow, that's a player. You think he got traded to the Atlanta Thrashers. Wow. And that was all I had to say about it. Wow. What a significant thing that happened. And now it's a trade happens and we go, so what are the rules? So how does that work?
Right.
Hey, I have an idea. What if we go to arbitration and just walk away from them? Yeah. No, I like that idea. Okay. Can we do that? Is that a thing we can even do?
Could they do that?
So Ian Tulloch, our friend of the show, was talking about it earlier
No
on
friend of
Twitter.
mine.
And he was saying, yes, they can just walk away from it in August when he goes to arbitration. But the argument for that is you wait till mid-August, late August, there's nobody left to sign. But if Cody Ceci is already a replacement-level player, why not get another replacement-level player who's making league min and not $4.5 million?
Now, here's the thing. Who's that player?
Anybody.
Who's that person?
Igor
There are
Ozhiganov.
bodies.
Right?
Yeah.
Am I right?
No.
There are
no,
warm
it's not.
bodies.
The argument that we had on filling in for the Jeff Blair show on Sportsnet 590 The Fan with George Russick, the question he keeps bringing up is the Leafs defense today better than it was heading into Game 7 against Boston? On paper. See how quiet it is? The answer is no, man. It isn't.
It's balanced. It's more balanced.
Balanced bad.
Well,
No,
and
it's
and-
top heavy.
And you're assuming that everybody's healthy. Going into the Boston series,
Yes.
Jake Gardner was playing at like 35%.
I mean, if
He
you're
couldn't-
Dubas, that's what you
he
think
couldn't
too.
have lifted this.
No, he had the back of Steve Dangle.
Yes.
It wasn't
Also,
good.
is he coming back?
Well,
Okay, yeah, this is why
We'll get
I'm
to
not.
that in a
Yeah,
second.
yeah.
We'll hold
yeah,
off on
okay,
that.
Okay.
because I think there's something to that. Okay, so we move on to that. We move off of Ottawa. We move on to the Colorado trade.
Yes.
By the way, can we just say cheers to Nazem Kadri on 10 awesome years? Thank you so much,
to
Naz. That was
Nazem
great.
Kadri.
Yep. Now, eventually you have to give something to get something. Eventually you're going to have to go out there and say,
you do
What
got
you
to give
always
something
say.
to get something.
can he be your can Kadri be the DeRozan?
Which means everyone's asking Tyson Barrie to be Kawhi. Which, how low are our standards for right-handed defensemen? I went back and look, like Tyson Barrie is literally the best right-handed defenseman the Leafs have had since Cody Franzen. And that's look at the no reaction there.
Ooh.
The
Right?
nothing you just gave me. Exactly. You know what? He's obviously better than Cody Franzen, but I got bored of looking back that far. I got to
Right.
Cody Franzen and went, this is just a sad list.
It's never been a strong suit for the Leafs. By the way, hold your mic a little bit more direction.
You
so we can
hold
hear
your
There we
mic a
go.
little
Right, you
bit.
can hear him better now,
Yeah.
right? It's a funny thing because what happened is you've got a more talented on paper lineup going into Game 7 against Boston, but if Boston can exploit the weaknesses the way they did, and if you saw it, they did the same thing this year too. Throw it into the right side and attack, and the Leafs have to throw it around to the left side or rely on some crazy pass from their Nikita Zaitsev, and who else played right? Ron Hainsey.
Oh,
and who
jeez.
else played right?
I don't even remember.
Who was the third
I
right?
literally don't remember. It was
Dermott
Dermott with a broken shoulder.
Yeah.
Good.
So who was the third
good,
left?
Good. Cool.
Who was
cool,
the
cool.
third left?
It would have been Gardner.
Gardner
Gardner with
his
a broken
back.
everything,
So-
apparently.
so
But
I would-
by the way, folks, they do sell alcohol here. If you need something
Yeah,
to make
feel
it
free
through
to
the
get up.
Boston conversation. Oh, my God. I'm so sick of revisiting this
So are they
grave.
better?
Sorry?
So are they better?
No.
So do they sign Gardner?
With what? With what? There's that Simpsons episode, and what would I pay them with? Banana bread? That I don't. They can't pay Jake Gardner in banana bread. Like, what is? They have about. There's differing numbers on this, but they have somewhere in the range of $9 or $10 million left, which sounds right about Marner. And okay, that's great, wonderful. Where does Gardner fit into that? And this is why I'm not convinced CC is staying. I am refusing to accept that the biggest front office in the sport, one of the most progressive, the biggest analytics department in the entire sport, signed Cody Ceci when they didn't have to. You know what I mean? There's got to be something up. What is Gardner waiting on?
If you grab Cody Ceci and you say, yeah, we got to get rid of this guy as soon as possible, you have just tanked his value. If you look at what Carolina did with Jeff Skinner, Carolina, who outside of Aho, and I'm going to get clipped and ridiculed on the internet again.
On Twitter again?
But
that was great.
But, outside of a few key players on Carolina, for a team that was that good, couldn't score any goals. If they'd held on to Jeff Skinner, they could have scored some goals. And what did they get? A second and a fifth?
For
a guy that's now an $8 million player?
It was 4 assets, I believe. I think it was 3 picks and prospects.
But it was almost nothing.
Cliff Poo.
Cliff Poo. That's right.
London Knights.
So we're talking about, a guy that, to some teams may have value. If it depends on your front office. If you're Edmonton, you probably look at Cody Ceci and go, wow, I see a lot in that guy.
Exactly. I'm sick of that argument. Oh, some teams see value. Yes, some teams are dumb. You're correct. Like, God, I'm worried. God, I'm worried. But maybe, you know what? We have heard from hockey people that we trust. Well, you see why. There's a coffee in front of me and no beer. After a beer, I'll be like, Ceci's going to be fine.
Yeah.
He'll be cool. I can see him. Which way does he shoot?
Actually,
this way? All right, that's cool.
Let's order 3 beers. Guys, what do you guys having? What do you like? You having the amber, right? Do you like the amber? Are you an amber guy?
Oh, buddy. Such an amber guy.
Jesse,
David
You
Amber.
have all the choices right behind you.
Okay, no, I know, but I wanted to ask everybody what their preference was.
Oh, are those for us?
You like red? Oh, these are for us? Are these for us?
I think they are,
Oh, okay.
unless we're just taking someone's beer.
All right, well, let's
Big Red says, by the way, Big Red is the reason we're here. Dude, Yukon Cornelius looking dude at the back there. Shout out Big Red.
Hey.
Taking someone's beer. You see, I already forget what I was talking about because there's beer in front of me. You know what? I'm not even worried about Cody Ceci.
Why are you worried about the defense if they've upgraded from last season?
They have not. That's my
Are
worry
they
is
at
that
least
they have not. Yeah, probably.
And really, part of Lou Lamoriello's legacy here. I think he deserves the credit for dumping the Dion Phaneuf deal. But
an atmosphere of fear.
But at what point do you say, okay, well, this is a situation where the previous group created this problem, and sometimes it's okay to just come out even. Sometimes you got to take a few steps back, and the fact that they are back to, we're about the same, is a miracle.
Okay, I'm going to get very hockey guy about this. It's okay if the St. Louis Blues come out even. They won! The Leafs lost last year. Wow, that echoed through the room. Everyone decided that moment for the scolding to go quiet. It was, listen, man, I don't know what I expected, so I'm getting a little Arrested Development about this. Is Justin Hall going to be in the lineup to start the season? There's still a very interesting X factor heading into this year that I don't think we've accounted for enough. That we always want to see how the team changes from the last playoff game to the first regular season game, but Hyman's not going to start and Dermott's not going to start.
LTIR.
That's going to, and that might give them a little bit of wiggle room, but also it sucks not to have them. But I just feel like it could dramatically alter their plans, but also dramatically alter whose career. I don't know. Is Kasperi Kapanen all of a sudden going to get thrown up onto Matthews and Nylander's line? You
know what? I got to be honest with you. I don't hate that.
Yeah,
no. Babcock tried it one time.
They flew.
One time. They scored in the first minute. We lost our minds. They were on for a goal against, and Babcock was like, see him right, and never tried it again. Threw Nick Patan out there begrudgingly. They got scored against. See him right. Never tried it again. So hopefully there's a happy medium in there where it's an idea that both Dubas and Babcock like. The other one that's throwing me off a little bit when everyone's throwing out their roster projections is Mikheyev, whose first name I don't even. What is Mikheyev's first name? Ilya. It's amazing that you know that. And the only reason that you know that is because
50% chance.
Sure.
Yeah, there are 2
chance.
Russian names.
Yeah.
Maybe 3. The occasional Vladimir, it's mostly Sergei.
So Ilya Vladimir Alexander Mikheyev is the only reason we have him in our roster projections is because the Leafs told us he was going to be there. What? Based on what? How many times have we seen KHL guys fail? Who here? I saw a Jonas Gustafsson jersey. Who here?
Oh, no, I'm so sorry.
Who here? Oh,
man.
Hey, at least it's not a tattoo. But who
costs about the same.
Yeah, probably. Who here has a Petri Conciola Leafs jersey? No one? Weird.
Anybody know that name?
You have a what? You have a Petri Contiola Young Gun card with
tell
the
that
Chicago
story?
Blackhawks, right?
Tell the story.
Yeah, you told the story earlier.
It's a good story.
Tell it again.
I'm going to try the Old Flame Blonde, by the way.
Oh.
Cheers to anybody having the blonde lager. You
Yes.
enjoy?
So, yes. So we're having the Old Flame
the
William
Nylander.
Nylander.
Okay.
I'm fairly certain that's illegal. So basically, Petri Contiola bought himself out of his contract with his KHL team. I want to say it was...
By the way, imagine you're working for an employer. That employer agrees to pay you $100,000 a year for the next 3 years, which is a great employer. I want to sign me up.
Yes.
And then when you say, I got this other employer that wants to pay me a little bit more, they go, great. Well, you're a year and a half in, so you owe me $150,000.
Because that's the rule in the
You have
KHL,
to buy
right?
yourself out of your own deal.
Yeah, that happened with Jonas Frogren. You might remember the Leafs helped him buy his way out of his contract, which you're not allowed to do, so they got fined.
So there, you can't do a side deal where it's like, hey, here's the cash for something else, but it's really
Well, they
to buy
tried that.
yourself.
I mean,
Oh.
I'm lots
Sure it
of
happens.
teams do it,
Yeah.
I'm sure. Maybe the Leafs just got better at it.
Right.
Maybe that's how they got some guys. I don't know. But Contiola had to buy himself out of his contract with Shakhtar Chelyabinsk. You might know them as the KHL team with the polar bear logo that got hit by an asteroid a few years ago. Their arena's windows got blown out by a literal space object. So he comes over to the Leafs, the very, very, very bad Toronto Maple Leafs, expecting a roster
Okay,
spot.
now, for context here, who else was on the roster?
Garbage.
Like, who else?
I think I might have been 15-16. I think it was the 15-16
Name
season.
some names.
Oh, my dear God. Who's buddy from Pittsburgh who we always forget his name? He was in the Kessel deal.
Scott Harrington.
Nick Spaulding.
Oh, Nick
Thank
Spaulding,
you.
okay.
Scott Harrington, I think, played in a few games.
Yep.
And actually, I wish...
They should have probably hung on
yeah,
him.
maybe should have held on to him. Kirby Reichel never played
Mark
for the Leafs.
Arcabello.
Mark Cabello. Haver of a 2-goal game once. That was cool. Brad boys, but old and bad.
Leipzig was there. That's fun.
Brendan, that was fun.
Yeah.
That's a great attitude. Andrew Campbell, I watched him play against the Buffalo Sabres. Tobias Lindbergh got his first NHL point that night, and the Leafs lost 4-1.
Stuart Percy, 0 goals and 0 assists.
Is that good?
That might be decent.
That feels like a lack of Owen Brooks like. Who could forget Brooks like? So Petri Contiola could not make that very, very all the way bad team. He gets sent down to the Marlies, and at some point, someone discovered that his sticks all had something written on them. And you know how Mitch Marner, he's cute little scamp, tussle his hair. He's got the smiley face on his glove. You know, players like to graffiti their things. So he writes FML on all his sticks, and someone goes, "So, like, what is that? Is that like something Finnish?" And he goes, "No, it stands for beep my life." And I think there's some kids in here. And he was not on the Marlies for much long after.
No.
I think he was gone 2 weeks later.
Rightfully so. So back to the original thing.
Bet you
Can
didn't
I-
think I
There
could do 5 minutes
Can
on
I
Petri
piggyback
Contiola.
on Steve's worry?
Please encourage the anxiety because I can't wait to spend the entire summer anxious and having not seen a game.
Yeah.
And I bet the first time they go on a 3-game win streak, this anxiety goes away, by the way, just so you
yeah.
know.
Go for it, Jesse. I'm 2 episodes into Chernobyl.
Let's go.
I am high, the highest
is that good?
possible. Yes, it's amazing.
Okay, I gotta
and
watch that.
terrifying. I watch it with the lights off because I'm sick. Yes, Jesse?
So imagine this. We're a week into the season. Cody Cece's on the first line with Riley.
Hell yeah.
And you look at his minutes per game, and they say something like 29,
Yeah.
28.
Yes. That guy almost spit up his drink. The guy in the first row almost spit up his drink.
What's your name with the Bob Ross shirt on?
Oh,
what-
that's
what is that?
amazing. Oh,
It's for Nas.
pour one up for Nazem
Yeah,
Kadri.
pour one up for
Pour one
Nazem.
up.
Yeah, yeah.
You met Bob Ross or Nazem Kadri?
You met Nazem.
Oh, you met
Kadri.
Nazem Kadri.
Oh, man. Another round for Nazem Kadri, everyone. Cheers to him again.
So for those of you who have seen it, the Nazem Kadri, Jonas Valanciunas Uber commercial, this gentleman who almost spilled his drink was there at the commercial, and he wore his Bob Ross shirt.
That's amazing.
You're a legend.
Did he say anything?
Boo, he didn't.
Does he knows? You think so?
He knew. He
What
knew.
if Cody Cece becomes Babcock's new toy?
There it is! There it is! Thank you, Jesse!
little
Thank you!
worried.
Nothing is worse than when Leafs Nation gets cocky. I keep seeing everyone go, oh, he keeps taking away all of Babcock's toys. Matt Martin, gone. Patrick Marleau, gone. Leo Komarov, gone. Guess what?
You got to do one.
Christmas comes once a year, just like spring cleaning. Doesn't matter how many of them you get rid of. Cody Cece, Merry Christmas. Babcock found him right under the tree and said, you shouldn't have, and they shouldn't have. They literally should not have. And this guy's going to play half an hour a night.
And remember, Ben Harper's there, too. And
good!
And Ben Harper's got a big body, everybody.
6.5 feet tall every time he hits the ice. Also, a turnstile whose number is 67. Did they do that on purpose? They could have got anyone. They got him. Thank you, Jesse. That was perfect.
Oh, no problem. This is what I'm here
Good
for.
question, Jesse. Thank you for that. That was great.
No problem.
So
This is quite nice.
Okay,
I mean,
now
you don't have this worry though. You're
nah,
confident
you
about
know.
this team.
Okay, here's the thing. I look at it like you again. It's I think after the season ended, you're at like a -3. You're back to 0 now, and I mean like the opposite of golf here. So if we're talking about a team, they had to hurdle some crazy hurdles. They dropped $18 million, pushed it out the door. They had to take $13 million back. But if you look at this and you go, the fact that they are at the position that they are at, the fact that they have a right-handed guy who can play with Jake Muzzin.
Hey, there you go.
They have another guy who is comparable to Nikita Zaitsev, who's going to play with
you know what sucks is I know
Morgan
you have
Riley.
a third bullet, and I'm out at number 2.
My point in this is that better to be more even in this particular case. They got torched 2 years in a row by the same team in the playoffs. It was an issue. And I'm actually really excited, and I think everybody has kind of written this guy off a little bit. And Avs fans laugh when they hear him put in this way. But Alexander Kerfoot is the guy that I'm really pumped about. Here's like a 40-point guy, 45-point guy who is going to make, what is he making, 3.5?
3.5.
Yep.
3.5 for the next 4 years.
Which is great. And the
back
way
to back 40-plus point seasons, and that's about what that costs. So, yeah, I'm cool with it.
And the thing with that is his contract, the way they came out with just before the show started today, how they structured this thing. So what they did was they said, okay, fail-safe here. If this guy stinks, he's under the age of 25 or 26, they made it bonus heavy so they can buy him out if it's a problem. So they left that door open, which is good.
Confident, good.
And
cool.
And evidently,
he's going to replace
he's a
the
very
two-time
good
30-goal
defensive
scorer.
center. Now, I keep hearing from Avs fans that he's not.
Well,
but all the numbers are supporting the fact that this guy's a good defensive center and can win some faceoffs.
I think there's a little bit of confusion because I think I want to say his defensive numbers are good, but that doesn't make him a good defensive center because he didn't play a lot of center. He won the lottery. Like, he was playing up with Nathan McKinnon on a lot of nights. I was wondering if maybe he's the Hyman replacement on certain nights early in the season. But, okay, then there's, hey, Jesse, you like toys? How's Jason Spezza for 17, 18 minutes a night sound?
Do you not believe in Nick Shore?
Nick Shore is on the cap-friendly page. There are 3 players on the Leafs cap-friendly page who they have not even announced that they've signed. There's Kenny Agostino, Nick Shore, and there was someone else who I was looking at earlier. I can't even remember.
And the rumor is they
Gravel.
haven't actually signed them yet. They
Rick
haven't
Gravel.
actually put pen to paper. It's just waiting on Mitch Marner.
So that is a fictional person.
That's right.
That is not an
but
actual
Jason
person.
Spezza is going to be useful. Right-handed centerman who's going to play fourth-line minutes, which, by the way, on the Leafs
you
is the
don't
same
know
as
that.
first-line minutes.
I want to
There
go
you
through.
go.
I want to go through life with the optimism of Adam Wilde. I really do.
I think, okay,
I
listen,
think I used to have it.
You gotta
I'm a
have-
broken man.
you got to have some optimism because
Why?
Kyle Dubas says...
Explain why.
Okay. You guys all remember Game 7. Who thought that was going to be the last game Mike Babcock ever coached in Toronto? I honestly did.
Oh, wow.
I thought he got
That's
slaughtered.
a few hands.
Absolutely slaughtered, and I thought that's got to be it. And for there to be a press conference where your general manager comes out and says, we're looking at everybody here right now.
Yeah.
And then he comes out a few days later and goes, you know what, I met with Mike, and it was positive. It's a good thing. Okay? So maybe Mike is willing to open up a little bit here.
I think.
And if he's not, he's probably gone by December.
I think we're optimistic with the unknown. And hey, Mikheyev, and Spezza. What if Cece was? And no part of the roster conversation has anyone been like Nick Patan. Nope, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because he's not new. We've seen that. So is Babcock.
You mean that Mike won't play him?
Exactly once.
You mean he
Yes.
won't play him?
Correct. Fourth line center.
Okay, all
anywhere.
right. I gotta ask the room on
When
this.
Jason Spezza plays 19 minutes one night, you're going to be laughing at him.
It'll remind
3 points.
It'll remind me
Minus
of
6.
It'll be Jay McClement all over again.
No.
Okay, I got a question.
He
for
never
the,
had 3
who's
points.
feeling the anxiety that he feels? Like, are you on that level? Yes. Anyone? There's only that you are not. I love you, but you are not in the majority. Everybody else here is pretty positive,
I
right?
know.
Were you happy? If you're positive, give me like some claps or something. By the way, clapping is how we communicate. So when I do call to you, I do need you to kind of clap back and go yes or no.
I sit in a room of deceit. You're all liars.
Not positive, still Leaf fans.
Said the
and
girl
that's
with Leaf
fair.
socks. High five. Oh, and a Kadri jersey.
Wow.
I'm depressed about this.
And an OG Kadri jersey. How long ago did you get that jersey? Second year.
Second year.
Is that the Joffrey Lupul year, where he was playing Joffrey Lupul on the third line?
Oh my God, maybe.
Where the Leafs went to Game 7 versus Boston.
Stop it! Stop it! I hate revisiting this grave. It's the worst.
Anyway, I think, just like everything else, my friend, not that we don't love you, but of all of us, on the anxious scale, you're going to be the most anxious.
Yes.
And I think there's reason to be positive. We have John Tavares. John Tavares is a Toronto
He is
Maple
a
Leaf.
Leaf.
Austin
47 goal scorer.
Austin Matthews.
Who the Islanders are better off without.
That's right.
LOL.
Austin Matthews, 37 goal scorer.
Yes, I watched all of them this morning. We're already at that point in July. I'm watching Austin Matthews goal compilations. And I looked at them and I went, gosh, he's got such a great release. He's such a lethal player. Wow, I can't believe how many of these goals that he scored were when the Leafs were down. It's almost like he should have played more at the end of Game 7. And then I got mad all over again. I was so happy for like a moment watching that. And then, oh man. And then it gets to the end of the season and they're in their St. Pat's jersey. You will sit through this, Adam Wild. It gets to the end of the season. They're in their St. Pat's jerseys. And I'm like, oh, I remember that game. They won that game. That was an exciting game. Wait a second. That game sucked. They were down to Philly. And then I just started losing my mind again and started worrying
Was that the 7-5 game, by the way?
It was the 7 to anxiety is what it was. Something or other.
And I don't mean this question the wrong way.
No, it was 7 to 6. You know why?
7-6.
Because JVR scored a hat trick goal. Manaja. Oh my God.
Is Mrs. Dangle, who's not here tonight, right?
No.
Is she happy that you're out of the house with your anxiety?
Yes.
Because I'm feeling anxious just sitting next to you, man. I'm picking up what you're dropping down, and I don't like it very much.
One sec. I need a little sip.
Okay, so one of the things that we want to do while we're here with you guys is, I know there's a lot of opportunities or a lot of people that have questions for Steve. And, we did kind of want to go through a little bit of what the Leafs had done. But we've got questions online, and we've got questions from people here. It can be about the book. Jesse's also going to change the cameras here while we're talking. But essentially what's going to happen is we're going to open it up. So if you've ever had anything you've ever wanted to ask Steve,
Okay.
if hopefully we don't kill him with the lights that almost fell over again.
Just
That actually, that works pretty good right there. Yeah, no, it's good.
guy with the beard is our associate producer.
Yeah,
Is that
you
good?
know what? It looks good-ish. Move forward a little bit. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, did I do that?
Yeah, you did.
Did I
Unfortunately,
scream
it's okay.
that into
anyway,
existence? Okay.
if you have a question for Steve, and we will get to you, throw your hand up right now. I'm going to repeat your question back for the recorder, so because it won't be able to pick it up. So, who's got a question for Steve, or for us, or about the Leafs, or anything? Anyone? Sir.
Bob Ross.
Bob Ross.
All right. In a world with no salary cap, Jason Spezza, Patrick Marleau.
Okay, the question is, world with no salary cap, who do you want on your team, Jason Spezza or Patty Marleau?
In a world with no salary cap, I want Patrick Marleau, and also a Bugatti, and a house made of lollipops, and all sorts of other things that don't exist, man. Well, Bugattis exist. I can't afford them. Is the thing. I mean, yeah. Of course, I would take Patrick Marleau. He scored 13 goals. Isn't a lot for $6.25 million. It's a lot for league min. But he didn't make that, and Jason Spezza does. So that's the difference, unfortunately. I was interested in the idea of him coming back, which I don't even know if you're – I guess you are allowed to do that because Brooks Orpik and all that magical nonsense. Moves like that are like a great –
so to put it into context,
Yes.
because you're off on a tangent here, and I have to be honest with you, I don't know that everybody's following. I think I know where you're going.
Let's Hansel and
But
Gretel
am I
our
the
way
only one
home
that was
here.
slightly lost by that? Yeah, okay, no, you're right. Okay, so here's what happened with Brooks Orpik, okay? So he's old and he's not good, and the Capitals trade him to a team.
And old and not good and made a lot of money.
Made a lot of money. So the Capitals trade him to a team, I believe it was the Avalanche.
Avalanche.
They buy him out, and then the Capitals sign him at league minimum. They're like, since you're old and not good anymore, this is really where we see you.
Yes.
And that's
so
what
he
happened.
went from
What
old.
did it cost them in the trade?
I think it was
Philip Grubauer, who is now the starter for the Colorado Avalanche.
It was expensive.
So kind of not worth it.
Well,
Yeah.
you know what?
They did win a cup. but-
They did win a cup,
Yeah.
and I mean, it allowed the Capitals to sort of. I mean, they went on a little random depth of the lineup spending spree this summer. It worked out really well for the Avalanche because they were able to completely make up for the cap that they spent, and they have I want to say $96 million in cap space or something ridiculous like that, which is perfect for Mikko Rantanen. But anyway, long story short, Brooks Orpik, bad, old, made a lot of money, and now bad, old, and makes very little money. Actually, no.
retired.
Bad, old, and retired.
But the thinking was that, you do the same thing with Patrick Marleau. So you trade him to Carolina in this case. You buy him out, or have them buy him out. And then you re-sign him at league min because you like what he brings to the dressing room. And there's no question that a guy like that, with players at a formative age like Matthews, Nylander, and Marner, were and still are. By the way, Austin Matthews is still the youngest Toronto Maple Leaf.
Actually?
Yes. He's still the youngest player on the team.
Until Rasmus Sandin comes in and cures everything that ails me.
This is the thing. You need to have those guys around. You just can't have them around forever.
Right. And there's also a little bit of cooperation needed.
Yep.
Brooks Orpik was like, hey, did you enjoy winning the Stanley Cup? I bet you did. Well, how about you come back and try to do that again? Hey, Patrick, you want to come back and lose in the first round again? Absolutely not.
But you'll be on the last shift. We can guarantee that.
Yeah.
Jesse?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry. I thought you were looking like you were going to say something there. I wasn't sure.
No, it's
Okay. It's just
I
a
think this happens at least once
It's
a
the
show.
confident look that you have. Who else got a question? Anyone? At the back near the camera, what's your name?
Ethan.
I'm going to repeat your question back.
Ethan plays in my instructional league. And
no way.
he threw a high backhand pass out of the zone and hit the oldest person there in the face with the puck, and he had to get stitches. Way to go, Ethan.
Well, that's his
All right,
fault for
we're
not
not-
wearing a mask.
Sure. Yeah. Let's clap for stitches. All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Why was that player not wearing a mask?
Because he was old. And he came back the next week, and I go, do you want an extra cage? I got one, and he looked offended. He looked
Tell
affronted.
the story of Ken Reed last year at the charity hockey tournament getting cut in the face on this first shift.
Oh, my God. Well, I mean, I
We'll
think
get
that's,
to your question. I promise you. Yeah. No, we will.
that's the entire story. No, Ken Reed, who was up at 7-6 in the morning probably to play 4 games and then go on TV all night. In his first shift, wearing a Jofa bucket.
It's the pasta strainer one that Gretzky used to wear.
Yes, yeah, you could literally, Mamma Mia,
Because
make
he
some pasta.
refuses to buy equipment that's past 1985.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
He's on old hockey forums going, oh, can I get those pads? They look awful.
Yeah. Anyone who's ever read or
perfect for
listened
me.
to hockey card stories, it's like player you've never heard of, 1979, followed by cool stories. So he gets high sticked in the face. His first shift. Blood trickling down his face. It actually broke his nose. Yeah. And I want to say it was the greatest day of Ken Reed's life because then he got to take a bunch of pictures with all the retired hockey players who were at the tournament to play wanted to take pictures with him because he looked like a true hockey player.
And then he got to go on TV that night
With a broken nose.
And brag about it.
They used Lord of the Rings makeup
Yeah, you
on
couldn't-
him.
you
that
couldn't
night.
tell
You
at
couldn't
all.
even
Not
tell.
at all, yeah.
I chipped my tooth that day. I was biting tape off, and fun fact, I have fake teeth. So
That's not nearly as cool as getting a stick in the face.
So anyway, this tape and I got into a fight. and
I had your back, though. I was third man in.
And I lopped up part of my tooth. So it looked like I did something cool. I didn't.
So Ken Reed got hit in the face with a puck.
And I fought
you
some tape.
bit some tape.
I bit it, yeah, because it was the last resort.
Hey, Ethan, what do you want?
So I'll give some context to that last story.
Yeah.
This guy that hit in the face is actually in the Canadian Lacrosse Hall of Fame. He's 70+ years old.
So the
Okay.
guy he hit in the face with the puck, just so anybody, is in the Canadian Lacrosse Hall of Fame. He is 70 years old, so he's been hit before.
Yeah, he's been hit before, and he's a tough guy. I was also concerned. I stayed on the ice till about 9:30, so I wasn't sure if he's going to want to fight in the dressing room.
He stayed on the ice till 9:30 because he wasn't sure if he was going to get beaten up by a senior citizen.
Yes.
So
Damn right I scored my first goal.
I
Yes,
did.
that was a beautiful remix.
You gotta explain that.
Should the Leafs sign you on a nice leagueman deal?
The question is, because Steve has now scored a goal in instructional hockey, should the Leafs now sign him to an ELC?
I shoot right, bud. I shoot right.
Oh,
It is happening.
Oh, can I jump in on this one?
Sure.
No. And
But I'm a good player.
I'll tell you why. Because Steve, well, Shirelli would, yes.
Yeah.
But Steve, the thing is with
I'm
when
5'10.5" every time I step on the ice.
if you play any sort of NHL with Steve, he doesn't pass the puck. Like we've played NHL online, me, Jesse, and
Yeah.
Steve, and Jesse's really good at it, by the way. Dead ringer, he's amazing. Steve is always
Not
the
gonna
right
deny
shot
that.
D-man, and his move is I win the face-off, he takes the puck and keeps the puck, and that's it. And then as soon as the puck goes off a leg and into the corner, Steve's after it into the corner when he's supposed to be on the point, leading to multiple breakaways. And I remember one time we were up too late and had too much to drink, the three of us, because this is what we do on a Saturday night.
No.
And we got to play people that listen to this show. And
that
We
was
got
bad.
destroyed.
it was like 15-0 in 5 minutes.
Because they were able to, we were playing 3-on-3, and somehow they knew how to go back and play goalie as well.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised you guys are still my friends after that evening. I almost kicked the television.
It really is as bad
You ever
as
watch
we
those
say.
videos of someone actually punching their TV and go, how could someone possibly get that mad? That night I knew. That night I learned. That's how you
To
get
answer
that
your
mad.
question, no ELC because he'd never pass the puck.
Even on your first ever goal.
Puck moving puck. He's a puck keeping defenseman until he
I'm
loses
not.
it.
No, here's the thing. I do that in video games because I'm better than you. In real life, I'm far worse. So I actually pass it a lot. Okay. The second I get the puck, I'm first of all surprised, and then I get rid of it right away,
Right.
and I feel good about myself.
Okay.
Steve, on
Now
your
it's someone
first,
else's problem.
On your first ever goal,
First ever goal.
what side of the ice were you on?
I was right D, and I was on the left half boards.
Thank you.
And how close were you to the net, Steve?
Close enough to score, bud.
See what I mean? Thank you.
It worked.
All right, next question. Over in the corner, what's your name? Corey. Everybody say hi to Corey. Hi, Corey.
Hi, Corey. Corey is the... Go ahead.
Piggyback off Ethan's question. Now the question for Adam and Jesse. Although the goalie was shit and Steve scored,
He said...
Okay, all right. So here's the deal. We have an Easter Seals bet. Steve has scored a goal. Now, he didn't score it in tournament play, and that's the key here. So we have a goal. We have a bet where the three of us, the last of us has to score a goal, or the last of us to score a goal has to eat the Don Cherry sandwich. Do you guys know about the Don Cherry sandwich? Okay.
Don't clap for the Don Cherry sandwich. It is a spreader of disease.
Thankfully, I brought it up today because
Dysentery.
we were talking to somebody about it. Now, Don Cherry loves to eat this sandwich.
Loves
the
it.
sandwich is salmon from a can, cheese, mayo, and it hangs out in the fridge for a couple of days until, in Don's words, the salmon soaks into the bread. He says,
Ooh.
and I quote from the article, "It's more like a pudding than a sandwich, but it's delicious."
Okay.
I don't want to have a sandwich I can eat with a spoon, by the way.
What's more disgusting? If he eats it with a spoon, because remember, it's allegedly a sandwich,
Right.
or his hands. And then
his
he's
breath must...
licking it off his...
So
So
the
then
next...
he shakes a bunch of hands, pats Ron on the back.
That's the thing. So we sit about as close right here as Ron and Don do during Hockey Night in Canada.
Yes.
I can smell Steve's breath from here.
How is
Can
it?
you imagine Ron McLean, besides all the stuff that Don says, can you imagine what he smelled over these last 30 years? It's pretty dangerous.
Oh, my God.
Now, so basically the thing is that The Last of Us to score in tournament play,
This
We'll have to
November,
eat.
so we're going to play in the tournament
Yes.
this November. We're going to play about 3 games we played last year.
Yes, 3.
So 3 games, and then The Last of Us to score in
well,
one of those
The
3 games.
The Last of Us without a goal, I guess. It won't
Yeah.
even be with a goal.
If you're the top fundraiser, you get an extra shot at it in the All-Star game. So it's incentive for you guys to step your
So
game
are we
up.
worried about it? I am. Yeah, I mean, a little bit. I think, yeah. Here's the thing. Everybody gets lucky. And
Oh! So wait, you think it was lucky or the goalie was garbage?
He did say the goalie was SHAT or SHIT. I can't spell anymore. It's my third beer here.
The goalie was Shat. No, that is the goalie, by the way. That's Corey, the goalie. What's up?
Hey!
Hey! Love you, buddy. I am never scoring on him again, by the way.
No, he's upset.
Oh yeah, no. It's a very lax little. We do drills and then we play a little scrimmage. But for me, he's gonna be locked in. Patrick Waugh. It's gonna be ridiculous.
All right, next question on the with you right there. You have a question. Austin Matthews, St. Patrick's jersey. Sir, first off, your name.
One, I want to hear a little bit about your book and I know that you're very close with your family. I want to hear a little bit about that.
Okay.
The second is, will Babcock be a coach after next year? And the third is, who's the next league captain?
Whoa, 3-part question.
Oh.
All right. Answer it backwards. So, who's the next Leaf captain?
Austin Matthews, because CJ told me and he's really smart. Captain Morgan it's too good for the sponsors. Don't you put the CC on Cody CC. You stop that. Don't put that evil on me.
CC for CC.
No. No. I do not want to CCC that. Oh my God.
I'd go to a game to see that.
Oh my God.
Get behind Triple C.
Yo,
That's a good one.
I think we have our next T-shirt idea right there. That's
Triple
brilliant.
C.
Yeah. Who's for the Triple C?
CCC.
I'd buy that shirt just to burn it.
But in actuality, who's the next captain of the Toronto Maple Leafs, and when are they get announced?
Austin Matthews, because CJ said, and he's very smart, and I think it gets announced shortly after they friggin' solve the Mitch Marner saga.
Okay.
Because it'll be a little bit rain on the parade sort of thing if he's named captain, and we're supposed to get all jacked about that, and we're going to give him a big ovation on opening night, and Mitch isn't there.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to want to sort that out, and then shortly after they'll announce Austin. Or they'll give Mitch the C just to get him to friggin' sign the thing.
Number 2 is, does Mike Babcock, because this is year 5 of Mike Babcock, does he make it to year 6?
How many games does Nick Patan play?
That's
It's important. I know. I
Don't
care
answer
how
the
many
question with a
times-
question. What do you think?
I know. Yes.
Yes, he does.
Yes.
Who agrees with him?
There's
a few. Wow, I'm actually that's tepid.
The vast
Wow.
majority of the
Wow.
room does not think Mike Babcock will be back next year.
Ooh.
Does he get booed at the home opener?
No.
No, not
Come
at all.
on.
No.
You come on. This is Toronto, and
I
people
like
are
Mike.
pissed.
Come on. So what? Get over it. We lose. It happens. We got to go. It's always about next season, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you pay $2,000 to go to a hockey game, I don't think you should boo anybody.
And your third question, because this is a 3-parter, we got time. You wanted to hear about. You talked about Steve mentioning his family in the book.
Yeah.
What specifically did you want to hear?
But I would like him to.
What part of what would you like to hear about?
I
Like, what question do you have for it?
My mom's
specifically?
name is Tina. Like what?
My mother's name is.
Like,
I know that you have a specific.
like you want to hear about my sister?
Yeah.
Or well, I mean, she's doing great. I still go over. I always check out the blue room, which she calls Steven's room, and she's right. It's the spare room now, but she calls it Steven's room.
The old blue room.
The old blue room, the powder blue room. I hated that color of paint, or at least I do now, because I'm an adult and I have my own house. We get together and we sing Barney songs and make her laugh all the time.
What does she know all the words to?
Everything.
Oh, like no, but there's like a Disney
Oh,
movie.
in literally all of the Lion King down to the sound effects.
Wow.
And Toy Story as well. And she's correct. She's like good choice, Rachel. Yeah, very, very good. As for my parents, like they're really stoked about the book because they finally have something that they can show people that isn't me screaming. It's a picture of me screaming, but I look like I'm friendly. I'm like, I'm hamming it up. They don't get to see me actually be a psychopath in Old Flame Brewery.
Yeah, like what you're seeing right now.
Yes, and talking about Cody Ceci, and oh my God, I'm so stressed out. It's good for them because they're of a certain age. My dad's in his 60s, and they're not going to fire off an email. Here's a link to my son's latest video. First of all, they'd be mortified if they knew how to open the link, which I don't know. I'm skeptical. So it's been good to give
That
them something.
happened the first time you were on Sportsnet, you were saying the same thing. You could point to something. Your parents could point to something.
Yes.
Traditional media and say, "Hey, this is what my son does," as opposed to
yes.
like.
And breakfast television. When you came on with me, you're
Yes.
like, my mom's
Yes.
friends are watching because they don't know what I do.
Right.
They
Yeah.
know that I do stuff.
I don't know what YouTube is. It sounds like he doesn't do anything. He's a freeloader. He's never going to move out of Hadina. That's amazing. And it that made them happy. So it's been they're extraordinarily proud, and it just sucks to know that I'll never do anything to top this. I've peaked as their son, and now I don't know what to get them for next Christmas.
I know there was a question behind there, so I'm going to go with Raptors hat. Sir, what's your name? Mike. Hold on. Everybody say hi, Mike.
Hi, Mike.
Hi, Mike.
Can
All
I
right.
ask Mike a question?
Sure.
Mike, do you think Kawhi is going to resign?
Jalen Rose says 99% chance.
I believe in Jalen Rose.
Yeah, he
Mike
thinks he's going to
believes.
sign.
I was once at a Raptors game where a fan got thrown out for trying to run onto the court to fight Jalen Rose. That's a true
That
story.
fan was right.
He was. He really was.
Okay, so your actual question. Okay, hang on.
Ooh.
So the question is, do you think we'll see Don Cherry on Hockey Night in Canada next season?
Okay, so I have an annoying question in response. Do you mean next season or this upcoming season? This upcoming.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Rogers has made a bunch of cuts. They fired people that I work with, and that blows. I assume if they were going to make a decision as big as the Don Cherry decision, they would have done it already. With Bob McCowan, yeah, they get rid of two legends at the same time. That'll go over well. I also think Rogers would have a really hard time. I'm technically talking about a coworker here. You know, Don, me and the boys. I think they would have a really hard time not giving him like a Derek Jeter-like send-off. Yeah. You know what I mean?
That's something you know about like a year in advance.
Yeah.
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was his last season. The man's in his mid-80s. But will he, they're just going to, his last game happened like a month ago. No, I don't believe that for a second. I think he's coming back.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, Bob's end came quickly because that's how radio is, though. Yeah, I mean, in radio, you're lucky if you get to say goodbye at all. It's usually just like, you're gone, see you later.
It's very South Park, Terrence and Phillip. You've made Canada Channel what it is today. You're fired. It is. That's very much what it's like.
Exactly.
You can't do that to Don. Also, Bob McCowan's not going to retire. He's going to do something else. I don't know what that something else is. Don Cherry's, I think, 86
Yeah.
or about to be 86. Like, he's...
Does he
and
shoot right? Good
Does
question.
he shoot? I think he does shoot right.
And he was a defenseman, and he's tough.
Oh, hot damn. Okay, we got Don Cherry's post-broadcast
Hold on.
career.
So is he the captain, or is Cody Cece the captain?
No, Cody Cece.
Yeah.
You try telling Don Cherry he's not the captain. You go ahead. DCC.
Don Hainsey. I like that. That was funny. All right, next question at the back there. Sir, what's your name? Hi, Ben. Come on, guys. Help me out with this. Hi, Ben. All right.
Ben.
We're a community here. Come on.
Harper? I'm sorry about all the bad things I said about you. What?
Ben Smith. How excited am I to sit next to Steve when Nazem Kadri scores against the Leafs to win the Stanley Cup?
On Steve's
On
corner.
Steve's corner.
Because,
Not Dangle's
because
corner?
replacing a former winner of the Jack Adams Trophy will be Pudgy Blogger, who scored a goal in Instructional League once.
Yeah, wow. Man. I mean, I think it would be, and Jesse, I think, will back me up on this one. For chaos purposes, it'd be great. As a Leaf fan, I would be heartbroken, but then part of me would be like, oh man, the next episode is going to be great. I think it's going to be really funny.
Do you do that?
Oh, yeah.
When something
Yeah.
awful happens to the Leafs, do you, like, is your solace in Steve's going to lose his mind?
I think it was when the Leafs were so bad and continually got worse, and it was like, well, it's going to be a while before they're good again. So the more they screw up, the funnier this gets. And then they became like a franchise that was well run, worth watching, lots of excitement, young players the way they are now. If they screwed up now, I'd legitimately be worried. But I think when you look at like look at teams like Edmonton. I'm like, I don't mind watching you screw up. You've already screwed it up this far, right?
I'm a little sadistic. I want to see how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Really?
I'm always like, Connor McDavid. No, it's a little bit funny. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. So, yeah, am I excited? Sure. Yeah, absolutely. And I'm also excited for Mitch Marner to get an offer sheet this summer, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's going to happen.
I'll thank whoever does it. Like, I'm at the point where I'm like, you know what, just do it.
Yeah, why not?
Just do it. There was a tweet today. I think it was Kevin Papetti. What would you do if a team offered the Leafs, I want to say it was 10.55, which I think is like the worst case scenario for whatever compensation reasons. Don't yell it out. I know it's complicated. And my answer to that would be winning is secondary. Don't even worry about winning. Your goal in life now as an NHL general manager is to ruin the team that did that. Offer sheet every RFA they have, no matter how good or bad they are. Sign all their players away. Spit in their coffee when they visit Toronto. Like, do everything you can.
Go full Berkey.
Yes.
Okay.
I will turn into the biggest Islanders fan. I'll turn into the biggest hypocrite. I will bring plastic snakes myself and huck them onto the ice.
Okay, there you go. All right, next question. We're going to go to this side of the room. Sir, your name again? Alex. Everybody say hi to Alex. Hi, Alex.
Hello, Alex.
Hi, Alex.
He's got a Morgan Riley with an assistant captain jersey on, but not the C. Yeah, okay.
Almost,
all right.
almost out of date, yes.
Yeah.
So for Steve, how many green peppers would you eat if it guaranteed the Leafs a Stanley Cup?
Okay, first question. Well, hold on that. How many green peppers would Steve eat? And by the way, if anybody doesn't know, he has an aversion to green peppers to the point where you'll vomit, right? Yeah. How
And
many
you
green peppers
once-
would you eat for the Leafs to win the cup?
You once ate a green pepper for $10,000 donation?
It was technically $5,000.
$5,000?
I said I would do it for $5,000, and then some guy, Mike Schmidt, decided to give me 10 because he's a mensch. Oh my God, what would be enough? 69.
67.
67 is where I was thinking. That's also a lot of peppers. Like, I would, okay.
You'd have to spread that out
Here's
over
the
like
thing.
a month.
Joey Chestnut enjoys hot dogs. I do not enjoy peppers, so it'd be a little bit harder. I'm not going to smash down 78 green peppers. But if it guaranteed the lead. Also, I feel like that would get some traction. People would probably buy me drinks for the rest of my life because I'm the guy who ended it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You'd get to take the credit for that.
Where? It's not where would my statue go. It's what would they make it out of. I think it would have to be green.
It might have to be.
Make it out of bell
Bronze
pepper.
turns green after a little bit of time in the rain, so maybe you could have that. A bronze statue of you.
I will take it. I would eat 67 green peppers because victory is forever. Okay, why not go all the way up to 69?
Yeah.
And then sadistic Jesse over here goes, why not 70?
Why
And then
not
all of a sudden I'm eating
71?
100 peppers and they lose anyway.
What was the second part of the question?
Would you guys ever consider like doing a contest to have a fan join you on the podcast?
Would we consider doing a contest to have the fan on the podcast? We have talked about that.
Yeah.
I think the issue right now is security. We're doing that in like radio studios and that sort of thing. So then we'd have to get that cleared and vetted. It's not because we don't
that's
trust
what you mean. I was
Yeah.
like, I trust them.
No, it's not.
What are you talking about? Who
No.
do you think is it? This is my chance. I won the contest. They just Donnybrook.
No, I think honestly, I think it's a great idea. No, I think like it's the issue is that when you bring someone into the building that we're recording out of, they make you like write up a thing and like hey, who's going to be here and why are they going to be here and how long are they going to be here and
Do you
so it's
promise
really
not
come
to
down-
murder? And they go, okay.
Yeah.
And stuff
Yeah,
like
just-
And
that.
I think shows like this allows a whole room of people to be on the
Yeah,
podcast.
exactly,
You're
exactly.
all contributing.
Yeah.
You're asking questions.
All right, next question. All right, what's your name? Yell it out. Steven, everybody. Hi, Steven. I'll repeat it. So Leafs top two lines look pretty solid, pretty set. What does the Leaf third line this year look like?
He brought up the name Spezza. If that happens, we riot. So no. I'll go with they get the band back together, and it's going to be Hyman, Matthews, Nylander, and that's when Hyman is obviously back.
That's not
from
the
injury.
third line, though, right? You're just going to go from top. Okay, all right.
No. Yes, said Mike. Yeah, Spets on the top line there. I saw him at the World Juniors, so I know he's a good player. Oh, my God. Someone actually called into the radio station and was like, you know what? CC had a great World Junior. I'm like, that was 25 years ago. What are you talking about? Anyway, sorry. Hyman, Matthews, Nylander, and oh, boy. No. It's going to be Hyman. Oh, Jesse brought something up. It's going to be Hyman, Tavares, Marner. I'm not sure how you break that lineup. That seems pretty stupid. Andreas Janssen, a lot of people didn't like him with Matthews in the playoffs. I bet you like him a lot more with William Nylander on the right instead of Kapanen. I love Kapanen, but he's a little limited in what he can do. Then I look at the third line that's projected here on dailyfaceoff.com. Alex Kerfoot in the middle, Kapanen on the right. I think Kapanen eats up third line guys or any other team's third line. And Mikheyev I've seen written in to the third line left wing, but hell no. I want the little person yet big ass of Trevor Moore out there ruining everything except for Mike Stevens' life. He will love that very much. And then Daily Faceoff has Jason Spezza between Nick Shore and Nick Patan. There is absolutely no chance on heaven and earth that Mike Babcock does that ever. There could be 5 forwards with broken legs. Babcock will never.
So in a
do
roundabout way, the answer is Trevor Moore, Alexander
Ilya
Kerfoot,
Alexander Vladimir Mikheyev.
Just Nick Patan. Okay, yeah. So I think it's fair to say that like the one small guy that's impressed Mike Babcock is Trevor Moore, and I don't know if I think I saw him score his first goal. Like I think it was against Vancouver or something, but he was phenomenal. Like it was noticeable when he was on the ice, and I think that's the kind of guy that you want in a third line situation. You're not afraid. Like in Kadri's case, you almost felt like you were robbing him of minutes,
Right?
Because it's like, okay, if you gave, which they never did, John Tavares and Austin Matthews 20 minutes each, then there's 20 minutes left.
Right.
And you give, they were giving Lindholm 7 or 8, which they never should have. But even Kadri at 15 minutes, you kind of go, man, like that's a guy that could score 30 goals.
Not
He
really
deserves
enough.
a little more time than that.
And I don't think they really use the top power play unit properly.
No.
It's funny because people at the end of the season, one of their biggest criticisms of Babcock was they were yelling and screaming that the top power play unit should be playing like a minute and a half. Second unit gets the final 30. I'm looking at what the Leafs have now, and they could potentially throw out Riley there on the top pair and have Barry, who had 25 power play points last year with Colorado, running the second pair. I'm like, well, now maybe they should play it the way that they did. Yeah. You have Kerfoot replacing Kadri.
I think
Spezza's out there.
Based on
in a
what I've
role where
seen,
he doesn't have to skate.
I think based on what you've seen too, the offense is going to look a lot different this year with this guy Steve McFarland. This guy has had
Paul
McFarland. Sorry,
McFarland.
Steve.
My middle name is Paul. That's how I got confused.
Paul McFarland ran, if you don't know, the Florida Panthers power play, and you're like, whatever, Florida didn't make the playoffs, but they were like second place the last 2 years.
They've been very, very
phenomenal power play, and he's a new age thinker and a speed guy. So that should be kind of cool with the Leafs, the amount of speed they have.
Adam, answer this question truthfully.
Okay.
How many of my free agent Frenzy Sportsnet videos did you watch?
None.
All of them great. So at the end, I did my winners and losers video, and we did Stanley Cup predictions. Do you know who I picked?
Who did you pick?
I know who you picked. The Florida Panthers.
I picked the Florida Panthers.
Someone
Because
watches your videos.
This room is silent.
Yeah, right?
This room, thank you.
He's
Jesse,
anxious
by
about
the
the
way.
Leafs, and yet he picks the Panthers to win the Cup.
Yeah, thank you, exactly one friend sitting at this table. I just feel like they went from having terrible goaltending, it wasn't Reimer's fault, he'll be better this upcoming season, to having arguably the second best goalie in the league. And I mean, with how good I look at that forward group, and it should not fail. And I look at the defense, and even that shouldn't fail if it's fully healthy, and they added Anton Strawman to it. And then you have Bobrovsky. I think they have a shot. My pick isn't based on who's the best NHL team. It's who's good and also a stupid pick. Because it's the NHL.
It has to be stupid.
The Stanley Cup champions were last place in January 3rd.
Hands up, who at the beginning of last season would have thought that Carolina would have made it to the Eastern Conference Final? Anyone?
Third round.
Exactly.
This
not
is
a
the
person in
first
this
thing
room.
that
Okay.
nobody.
Yeah, okay. Do we believe him?
He didn't put his hand up.
No,
he
we
put
don't
two
believe him.
fingers.
Yeah, two
That's it.
fingers like, yeah, maybe.
That doesn't count.
Okay.
2/5 of a hand. That's not enough.
Let's move on to the next question. Who's got one? Anyone? We got one over here. Your name? Hi, Alistair. Ooh.
Alistair Moody.
Wow.
Hello.
That's definitely the first time he's got that. Alistair, tell us, what's your question, buddy?
So, with our current cap situation, is there anything that can be done with our backup goalie, or are we just committed to Anderson playing 65 games next year?
So with our cap situation, is there anything we can do about our backup goalie situation? So you all got to see my very outward anxiety about Cody Ceci and with Jason Spezza and Mike Babcock and all those other things. And now we're delving into my subconscious and things that I've pushed to the back of my mind. That being at the forefront. How is Michael Hutchison actually going to be the Leafs' backup next season? Now, there is, cap friendly is the gospel, and I'm sure it's what we all use right now. If they can get a goalie somehow at a reasonable, and by reasonable I mean less than $1 million price, they can send Hutchison down, and then all of a sudden...
And by the way, Sparks still exists, and he also makes $700,000.
Sparks still exists, but, maybe not.
Not at the... Yeah.
And the Leafs were shopping him. I'm not convinced they're going to keep him. Maybe there's a problem for a problem trade somewhere out there in the universe. Now, Michael Hutchison doesn't really have a long and extensive track record of being a dependable NHL goaltender. I know a guy who does. He's coming off a really rough year, though. He's coming off a rough year, but most of his years, not as rough. He makes too much average money or better. He makes too much money now. But if the Leafs can somehow, I don't think.
Do you really think? Hold on. He's hinting at. Who are you hinting at?
Jimothy Reimer.
Do you really think James Reimer is the solution? Do you really think that?
Adam, I have always thought that James Reimer is the solution. No, I think Carolina was gonna. The rumor was they were gonna buy him out. I don't think that's officially happened. If I was Carolina, personally, I'd keep him. One, because it's me. But two, because, dude, look at who they had last year, and they turned them into gold. Maybe you bet on yourself and think you're smart enough. But to answer your question with a sentence that makes sense, I cannot picture Michael Hutchison being the Leafs' backup goalie come playoff time. I think sometimes at the beginning of the season you go, this is what we got for now. You can make changes. Everyone seems to wait a month. There's the end of exhibition season. All right, let's solve each other's problems. And then everyone lives with it for a month and a half, and then stuff happens. Maybe they get a goalie at that point. I can't imagine. Okay, Freddie Anderson goes down in the Eastern Conference Final. The Leafs have an amazing time, and they're playing Boston somehow. I don't know. And we turn to Michael Hutchison. Are you sure?
Well, he'd have walkout music and he'd have fireworks.
Time to play the game.
Yeah, it would have to be yeah, absolutely.
Oh my God. And then he wins the Conn Smythe.
Wearing his what? His red pants? Yeah, that's right.
Wearing his red pads for no good reason. Yeah, I can't picture it, dude.
Yeah. There you go. Next question. Anyone? Oh, your name, sir. Thomas. Hi, Thomas.
Hello, Thomas.
All right, Thomas, what's the question, buddy?
He was our goalie at Easter Seals.
Oh, hey, Thomas.
Hey, dude.
What if Sparks played the first night of a back-to-back instead of the second? You put Anderson in the second. Then that would kind of make up the tired players.
So Tom is saying, why not play Sparks in the first half of, or whoever the backup is, in the first half of a back-to-back, giving the tired players the better goaltender in Freddie Anderson. And this is where we are. What did I call the Leafs front office? Not just the biggest, but one of the most progressive in the NHL. That is a progressive idea, and I am into it, and I am interested to see how that works on a team not run by Mike Babcock. Exactly.
Well, I'll tell you why they won't do it.
It's not going to happen.
The prevailing thought with that, and this is people we've talked to who are in and around those circles, and they've basically said what you do is you stack your team for the first game because at least you know you can win that one. And
hey, what if you don't?
Right. And it's hockey. Okay, yeah. But you're trying to stack the odds in your favor for the first game. If you're playing a back-to-back, the second game, you're like, if we lose, well, it was a back-to-back. It's not an excuse, but there were reasons. The first game, it's like, let's at least pull 2 points out of this. Maybe we can steal a point in the second game.
I think it's the sort of thing where, I don't have a problem with using logic in your decisions, and that's sound logic. But there were certain games, dude. Tavares' return to Long Island or Brooklyn or wherever, and you throw. I know. There's a lot of people in the room who aren't the biggest fans of Garrett Sparks. What were the odds they were going to pull that one out? Come on, that was a no-shot game for him and therefore the entire team.
Yep.
Read the room, Mike. Read the room. There were times where that would have made sense. Times where, you know what, Sparky, you're the goalie and
I felt
the second
like
half of the back-to-back,
I
too
think
bad.
you're right on that one. I think you guys all remember what it was like when that Tavares game, that first game. It looked like a WWE match. It was unbelievable.
Oh,
the fans
God.
there are crazy.
It was a Metallica concert
yes,
in the 90s.
Yes, it was crazy. And it's funny that you would hang your best player last year out to dry like that. And that's how I felt. I felt like the players did, and I felt like the coach did. I think in that particular case, yes. Move away from the rule where you win the first game, because I think they were playing. I don't know who they played the first night. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Like, we wanted to win it for Johnny. Not that bad.
No.
Not that bad. You didn't. Not enough to play your starter.
Yeah. I think you're right, man. I think there's a time and a place, but most of the time you want to have your fresh legs on the first night. Jesse?
They also went the majority of the season with 2 extra forwards and barely used them.
Okay, now you're getting into the minutia, which I like. Yes, the Leafs, one way they can save cap easily, I think, is not carry 3 extra guys like they were all of last year. They do not use them.
Yeah, there was no load management with the Leafs.
No, there was no. Yes, it would have made perfect sense if that's what they were doing. Hey, Tyler Ennis is coming off of a pretty gruesome injury and whatever. Let's load manage him. It'd be cool if they maybe used Nick Shore to sort of load manage Jason Spezza a little bit. And I got to imagine, after seeing what the Raptors did this season, that the Leafs are a little bit more open to it. Mm-hmm. They say they follow Masai Ujiri and his tutelage. Prove it. Prove it. But if they're not going to do that, have 2 guys. Have 2 emergency guys. Maybe even just have the one. Have a defenseman, and if you need him to fill in on the 4th line, is that really the end of the world? Probably not. So if they get really desperate, that's something they could do.
There you go.
Doesn't sound like it's that popular in this room.
All right, next question. What's your name? Hi, Michael.
Oh, Michael.
All right, come on, guys. A little enthusiasm. I know it's hot in here, but come on, let's go. By the way, you can order beers while we're doing this, by the way. That's not rude. If you want more beer, you can get it.
Yeah, not off of us.
Michael, you have to ask your question before you order your next beer, though, sir.
My question is, who do you think going into next season is going to be the LA Kings for last season? Expect to make the playoffs, which is exploding.
Oh, my God.
So who's going to be the we expect to make the playoffs but are going to explode miserably this season? Who he used LA as an example. I think that's a really good one. You go sign Kovalchuk and you beat out Dallas and I believe San Jose to get him. And then
Boston.
And midway through the season you fire head coach and the new guy doesn't like him and doesn't play him. I think
Willie.
I think I got one.
Okay, Jesse, hit us.
Who's lead off?
Who's the bad team that thinks they're good?
The Pittsburgh Penguins.
Damn it, he stole mine, dude.
Did I? Yeah.
You know
There's
what?
been too many bad moves this offseason.
Yeah, there comes a moment. It's usually exclusive to players where you watch your favorite. You know what? I'm not gonna lie. It happened for me with Jerome McGinley a little bit. Although he did not have retirement forced on him. How dare you even suggest it? But I remember watching him in his final season and going, "Yeah, we're done here." There's going to be a very sad moment for hockey, unless you're a fan of a team in the Metro Division, where we go, oh, Sidney Crosby's team is cooked, completely cooked. And then, you know what happens? We say Jim Rutherford should be fired, and that is the exact moment the Penguins go into cup contention, because that is the model. That is how do you fire a guy the year after he gets inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame?
Well, you got to be a little more cold-blooded. I think here's the thing with Pittsburgh that's
They're
interesting.
They're going to stink.
Is, I don't think they're going to be very good. And it's weird because as the league gets faster, they're like, we could get slower.
Yes.
And nobody would expect it.
It starts with the Ryan Reeves move, and I'm not even blaming it on Ryan Reeves. I'm blaming it on the logic behind it. They won back-to-back cups, but didn't like the way they did it. What's the matter with you?
They weren't tough enough to win those 2 cups that they won.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. They went into it like with the mentality of they lost in the first round.
Yeah.
It was lunacy. The one thing that makes me wonder if it's not the Penguins is I expect Matt Murray to be better than he was. Mm-hmm. But boy, I look at that team on paper, and other than the 2-headed monster that is aging, by the way, but still amazing, They do not scare me one bit.
I don't look at Jack Johnson, Goodbranson, Dumoulin, Schultz. Like it doesn't
Years of
inspire me.
Brandon Tanev. Wrong Tanev.
Worst contract of July 1st.
Oh, yeah.
That dude is 27. You signed him till he's 33, and I don't know if he's eclipsed 30 points yet.
Yep.
And they moved out better.
And you're upset about
Tanev,
Cody
which was
Ceci.
Connor Shearer.
And I'm upset about Cody Ceci. Oh, Penguins fans are catatonic.
Yeah. Sorry, Jesse, you were saying.
Oh, I was just saying they moved out Connor Shearer,
Yep.
who's better Brendan Tanev.
Yep, kinda.
Is he 6 years better, though? I don't know.
What? Like, I just look at all the depth players that the Leafs got. Like, for example, it's not confirmed yet, but like, for the amount of money they spent on Brandon Tanev, you could have gone out and got Kenny Agostino. Like, how many guys out there playing hockey are dying for the opportunity to play on Sidney Crosby or Evgeny Malkin's wing? Like, getting wingers should be the easiest thing in the world for the Pittsburgh Penguins, and they overpaid a guy who is like barely a third liner. I don't understand that at all. Although watch Crosby turn him into a 40-goal scorer.
Yeah, he'll be great. He'll
He'll be William Karlsson.
Do we have any more questions in the room? Yes. Over here. We got two over here. So go ahead. You go first. Hold on. Your name?
Brandon.
Oh, it's Brandon.
All right. Sorry for all the things we just said about you, Brandon.
So maybe I'm a sleeper agent. I don't know, but you guys haven't given out the crown.
Oh,
Hey.
Brandon. Well, we can. I mean,
Give your crown to based on you can say free agency.
who do we give our crown to?
You can even say life. You can be general.
Crowning for. You know what? We'll do the crown for the summer. Because we're off next week. I know everybody's like, you know what? I like hockey a lot, but I think I'm done for a while. Right?
Yes.
Are we not a little bit like, okay, I'm cooked?
We're taking next week off.
Yeah, for sure. Who do you give your crown to for the summer? Jesse's already got one. He's
I
smiling.
got one.
Easy. You're smiling.
Can
You want to
I-
do it
yeah,
now or
please,
last? Okay.
Take it.
Can I give out my crown to the month-and-a-half-year-old who made it out to Port Perry?
Yeah. To Everly Wild.
Everly Wild is in the building.
Everly Charlene Wild.
Is my wife
EC
back
dub.
there?
I believe she
EC
drove
dub.
herself.
Caprice, have you stuck around? Are you still here? Oh, she's feeding.
Oh, she's
All right, she's feeding.
Well, don't come on camera with that.
No, it's bottle feeding. It's cool. Yeah.
Come on over. Cool.
I just want to say Everly deserves a crown for making it all the way
Well,
down
thank
here.
you. Appreciate
It was
that.
difficult for me, so I can only imagine a baby doing
Yeah,
it.
you know, it's funny. The whole baby thing's really interesting because if you get under 50 kilometers an hour on the road, they start crying. But once you get over,
It's like speed, but with a baby.
it's like speed, but with a baby. A very, very, like, imagine a very loud, annoying, piercing noise right in your ear.
yummy.
And you're like, if I get above 50 kilometers an hour, which in Toronto's a tough thing to do,
yes.
she's going to go to sleep. So we were on the Don Valley Parkway, and right up until the 401, both of us were.
How close were you to seriously driving in the shoulder?
Well, no, my wife, and I'll just say that my wife is like trying to, you know, they do the parent flip backwards thing, and she's trying with the bottle.
What is the
and,
parents flip
You know, where they
backwards
go in the
thing?
car and they're like this, and then the other parent holds out their, like I'm holding out my hand trying to make sure. Yeah, I know it's illegal. I
This
don't
is
care.
your seatbelt?
Yeah.
Oh
Whatever.
my God,
Whose
you're
parents
on a
didn't do-
highway.
Okay, are there any parents in this room? Who's a parent in this room? Have you done that? Did you do that? Yes, thank you.
You're all
Thank you.
criminals.
Yeah.
Oh
Thank
my
you.
God. What?
Yeah. Just wait till your kid's crying and you'll do it too. But so it's sort of the butt seat belt with your arm. But once we got over 50 kilometers, like we get into the 404 going towards Newmarket, and it was like smooth sailing. We could hear the music again. It was great.
Did you hear stories from your grandparents about how they used to drive you around to sleep? 'Cause, like, gas
Yes.
was so cheap, it wasn't a thing. They
Still
were
do
like,
it.
let's go on a drive, and we'll drive the baby to sleep. It was a thing.
The cheaper way to do that is just put them in their car seat. We got a car seat that actually goes right into their stroller. So you push them around in a stroller and they go to sleep eventually, which is great. The other thing is my mom used to tell stories about, and I'm sure there's some people in this room that can relate to this, sleeping in the back room, like above the back seat in her car on road trips.
What?
So in older cars, they were so big, they were boats that you could sleep in the back. You couldn't sleep.
The 70s were wild, man.
It's nuts. So when you consider how you freaked out about, you know, doing the parental turn,
Yeah.
think about how your parents grew up, man, and they survived. It's okay.
Was it-
I don't
oh.
recommend this. Don't do this at home.
Adam's crying. Give him another cigarette. Here, get him the The doctor said it was.
Yeah, life's hard.
Yeah.
He's got to learn now.
Give him a shot of whiskey.
All right, Crown, Steve.
Far more boring answer. I got to give a shout out to the New York Rangers and specifically Jimmy Altieri, a.k.a. Jeff Gordon. I just think they have done such a fantastic job with that rebuild. Nothing about them being involved in every single free agent went away during the rebuild. They have so many good young players. They got Artemi frickin' Panarin. They might not waste Henrik Lundqvist's twilight of his career. I really like all the things that they're doing, and they deserve a special shout out.
Round of applause to the Rangers. Yeah.
And also Caprice, because you gave it to Everly. Everly did nothing.
I was gonna.
You don't know that.
Caprice was the one being a trapeze in a moving car.
So I'll give the crown to my wife because she has
I just did that.
managed the
Pick
baby
another one.
and handled the
You already
baby.
did it.
So
Have your own crown.
my secondary crown
There you go.
is going to go to Masai Ujiri when Kawhi Leonard stays.
Oh,
Hopefully.
baby. Oh, baby.
Right?
I love it.
Right? Only that man could turn a room of hardcore hockey fans into the same people who were watching Kawhi Leonard's car on CP24 yesterday. Am I
OJ
right?
chase?
We were all watching that, right?
Oh, my God.
And you know what I loved about that is all that there was so much complaining about it on Twitter, like, this is creepy. We're being weird. I'm like, yeah, we're being weird. We're passionate. This is
totally.
good. He's going to look at this and go, well, at least they care. In Los Angeles, they did that for LeBron, but they're not doing that for Kawhi. And the reason they're not doing that for Kawhi, maybe they are now, but LeBron is a worldwide phenomenon. In Los Angeles, you have to be for anybody to pay attention to you because everybody in that city is trying to be famous and looks famous.
You ever walk down Hollywood Boulevard? It's literally just performers screaming at you.
Yeah. And it's beautiful people because it's all like, it's literally everybody from your high school that was good at acting and good looking. And they all go to Hollywood and give it a shot. Yeah. And so when you are a massive, massive, massive celebrity the way LeBron James is, and he's going to like Space Jam big, then you know it makes sense that, yeah, they're going to have the helicopter out for you. Otherwise, Angelinos do not care. They don't care.
Is that what they're called?
Wait.
Yeah, they're Angelinos, yeah.
You made that up.
No, that's what they're
definitely
called.
made that
No,
up.
look it up.
No.
Angelino.
Or don't look it up. Take my word for it.
You know what? We're not going to look
It
it
is,
up.
right? It is. Thank you.
Angelinos.
Yes.
Jolies.
What else would you call them?
People
Los,
from
Los
LA.
Angelites?
Yeah, people from LA.
Yeah, well,
Isn't
Angelinos.
that less syllables?
So anyway, I with Kawhi, I think he's probably like, okay, they're really bringing their A game for me right now. And even if he does sign with, I guess the Clippers are apparently out, although who knows?
It's Lakers or Raptors at this point.
If he ends up in Los Angeles, are we going to be that upset?
Yes. Yes. We have crossed the point of no return. We have here. I want to ask
I was
the room.
surprised.
Let me just say that I will not be because we won a freaking championship in
Yeah.
the city finally.
I just
Thank you.
yeah.
Was the ring not good enough? Like, what are you?
Don't applaud deceit. Don't applaud that. No. Okay. Listen. Here. Let me ask a question to the
hold
room
on.
at large.
I just want you to know one word before going into this, and that is anxiety. Keep that in mind. Keep the anxiety in
Listen.
mind. Go. All right, you go.
I don't pay my therapist enough, or maybe I pay him too much. I don't know. Who in this room thinks, genuinely, in the bottom of your heart, there will be more people at the Leafs Stanley Cup parade than the Raptors championship parade?
You think so?
Less than half the room.
Yeah, I don't know.
Less than half the room.
I don't know.
You know what?
I really don't
There
know.
was.
First off, I
would
don't
say-
think. I think there's that question's a bit hard because they're
No,
never
it's not.
they're never going to let that parade happen again after what happened.
Right.
Well,
It's
there's-
That
gonna
will
be different.
never happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Make sure it happens if something happens with the hockey team, though.
Oh, yeah. So here's the.
Regardless of whether or not it's actually planned.
Yeah. Okay. So there'll be a parade.
Yeah.
It will just be far more planned, and they'll limit the amount of people.
No. So anyway, the original topic was: are we going to be mad if Kawhi leaves? We're not going to be mad at him. Let's make that clear. But we're going to be frigging heartbroken. And you're kidding yourselves if you say you're not going to. You're
do
going
you
to
not
meet me.
look- do you
You're
not-
looking at your future and you know it.
Do you not look back on it and say we got a NBA championship and
Yes.
that's good enough?
Jesse, here it is, okay?
Isn't that good enough?
Here's the plan. The Raptors won an NBA championship. That was their first NBA championship.
Yeah, and then Kawhi left, and that's
When they re-sign Kawhi, that will be their second NBA championship. when they win again next June, that's their third NBA championship. That's how it's going to go. Listen, it's a movie. He hit a 4-bounce rim shot in Game 7.
I was there.
And Fred VanVleet with the blood running down his face and Kawhi dunking on Giannis. And for some reason, they let a pop star affect the outcome of Games 3 and 4 of the Eastern Conference Final. And they lost the first game of the playoffs. Kyle Lowry had 0 points. Like, there's too much about this thing. And I haven't even talked about the trade. There's too much about this journey that is a bloody movie. And the way the movie ends is with Kawhi
He rolls off
re-signing.
into the sunset of LA.
No, it's too...
Play with
that's
LeBron
where
and win
movies are
5
made.
more.
No, this is not going to be Moneyball where Billy Bean frigs off from the team that eventually wins the
I
championship.
feel like that's how movies go.
No, that's how depressing movies go, Jesse. I am not watching a Jesse Blake exclusive. I want my fairy tale Disney ending where he re-signs with the Raptors, and then what happens will happen.
One
Okay.
of Adam's favorite terms is moving the goalposts. And I feel like at one point the goalpost was, wow, we got Kawhi. And then it was, wow, we made the NBA Finals. And then, wow, we won it. And then now you're like, wow, we got to re-sign him. And then when we re-sign him, it's going to be, wow, we need to win again.
Yeah,
and then we need to re-sign him again. If we
I-
don't re-sign him again, we don't get our 4th championship.
No, this is. But by the way,
Then, Steve.
their 4th championship is their 3rd championship.
That's right.
Yes.
Because
Just
the
making
parade.
sure everyone
By the
knows
way,
that.
is there a parade if Kawhi resigns? Just
Yes.
the parade for him?
Yes, but it's
Just the he stay parade?
yes. But what's great is there's going to be no like epicenter. There's going to be nothing to follow, no bus to wave at.
Just people marching.
Just a bunch of
going
people
into
with
the
with
street.
stolen houseplants walking
And it's
around.
all these street performers trying to capitalize on it. The Kawhi lookalike. There was here's how nuts the Raptors parade. There was a plant guy knockoff.
Yeah.
There was a fake plant guy. There were several. People just. Yeah, why not?
Why not?
People are like, well, okay,
Hey, I'm big and bald too. I can
what's
do that.
the thing to do? What do I need for the parade? I need my jersey, sunscreen. Just kidding. People didn't bring that. You know what they did bring?
Plants.
Plants,
Succulents.
succulents, palm tree. You know what? The greatest part about Plant Guy is there was still dirt and soil like hanging off the plant. He stole that, and then he showed it to a police officer, as if to say, "Look what I made." I loved it.
All right. Any more questions? Right here. Yes, sir. What's your name? John. Hey, John.
Hello, John.
Come on, everybody. Hello, John. Yeah, John. All right.
Hi, John.
Is Kawhi actually doing Leaf Nation a favor right now by giving us another set of
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, you remember how bent out of shape? Okay, so is Kawhi doing us a favor by playing the distraction game so we don't have to think about Mitch Marner? Yes. You imagine remember how bent out of shape everybody was about Nylander? You haven't heard one trade Marner anything.
Oh yeah, you have.
Have you?
Oh, Adam. I just learned you don't have Twitter on your phone.
No. Twitter's one thing. I'm talking about, like, you don't have Brian Burke on TV going, well, I would trade him. Because
I don't know if I've ever heard the word Kawhi leave his mouth.
Right. But my point is that Kawhi's the bigger story.
The
And
mainstream sports media is focusing on Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah.
And not
That's
Mitch
true.
Marner.
Exactly.
That is true.
Which is great.
I just wonder.
Except for if you're Mitch Marner. This is upsetting for you.
It definitely It definitely takes the heat off
I mean,
them.
Darren Ferris.
Well, yeah, Darren
Warren
Ferris.
Laris.
He's got his book, and he's like, all right, you know what we're going to do? We're gonna use the media. And in Toronto, once the Raptors are out, then we have the media's attention. And then the Raptors go and win a championship, and he's like, fuck, there's nothing on the next page. I don't know. Call one of the TSN insiders. Okay. KHL. Going to go play in the KHL. This guy, Darren Ferris, does this. He does this every time with every client, and it's not working out this time for him because by some random happenstance, another Toronto team won the championship.
What are the odds?
0.
What are the odds?
Literally nothing. Nothing. It's crazy.
Now, here's the one dangerous thing for the Leafs. So right now, it's awesome. All the Kawhi-ness, it is awesome for them. It is a wonderful distraction. At some point, the Leafs are going to have to get back on the ice, and they have the misfortune of getting on the ice before the Raptors get back on the court.
Right. But if Kawhi resigns, the conversation's about when are the Raptors going to get back on the court.
100%. If he does not, it's going to be we have no Kawhi, and also the Raptors set a standard for the Leafs that is winning.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Haven't done that in a little bit.
Better sign Marner.
Better. Yep. Oh,
Is that not good, though, in the end?
I don't
yes,
mind that.
it is.
We
100%.
want that out of the city,
Yeah.
right?
100%. I also want to know who's going to be the first TV pundit after Kawhi leaves to go, well, now they have money to sign Marner.
Somebody will say it.
Somebody will
Next
say it.
question. Anybody? Okay, we've already got one from you, so we're gonna go with him.
Here,
first.
we got a guy
Oh, we got
who's-
over
he's
here.
like out
Oh,
of
you've
your
been waiting
sight line.
forever. Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, you go ahead. Yes,
ahead.
your name. Wes. Everybody say hi to Wes.
Oh, Wes.
It is. Hi, Wes. 48 weeks, Wes. Go
He's
ahead.
got a Taggart and Torrens hat.
Yeah. He's a bud. Absolutely.
Hey,
We
bud.
love those guys. So.
We just scored. Yeah, you know what? It's about time someone got real here. This is where I fit in most. This is the best right here. I'm comfortable. You don't even need to hold it, bud. You don't even. Okay. It's actually Wes the Mess, the mayor of Greenbank. So how y'all doing tonight? I'm from here. So this is an honor to have you. I just wanted to say thank you to that for all you guys. Oh, you're at it. Yeah, honor to have you guys. I know you were worried about security, but now I'm here.
No, I'm good.
Hey, we're not. Let me in. So we just scored.
Am I the only one? Why am I the only one not standing?
Yeah,
Okay,
all
here we
right.
go.
It's America Day.
I felt awkward. No, now you sit. Now it's weird.
So, well, you can grab his, because he just took off and said, "It's all right, go ahead. We're switching." All right, so we just scored this guy from Colorado. It's a Tyson Berry.
Yes, Tyson Berry.
So, I don't want to like relay things this way, but do you feel like he could be like a David Price thing where we sign him because he's only got 1 year left on the contract, and all of a sudden, you know what? Next year, see you later. We just gave up Nazem frickin' Kadri, and he was our like the best third line in the thing. And did we already ask this question?
No, I think it's a fair question.
Who is possibly more anxious than Steve Dangle? Adam Wilde wondered. That one. This guy, Wes the Mess. No, listen, Wes. It is a question worth asking your therapist.
Yes.
It is. No, I think, dude, Tyson Berry just put up, what was it, like 60 points or something?
He's a top 10 defenseman in the league.
Yes, he is not. Listen, he has a track record of being good. There is no way he's going to be bad for us. Oh my God, I just described David Price. You might be right, dude. You might be right. I don't think so, though, because the Leafs have so much offense up front. Like, his job is to pass the puck to guys who know how to do stuff with it, and the Leafs have guys who know how to do stuff with it.
The things that you do to the things to score the net.
Exactly. Yes, that is so
Yes.
eloquent.
Yes.
You should get hired by TSN.
Well, I know you guys deal with the other guys, and I'm a big TSN guy, so I
How
know you
dare
guys
you.
are on the
How
other
dare
end, but
you.
you know what?
How dare you.
Hey, you guys just scored my bud Scotty Max, so you know what?
Damn right, we stole him.
You did good, and I'm going to get out of here because this is awkward.
Love you, Wes. Yeah, I'm gonna sit back down.
By the way, I just love the way he says Nazem friggin' Kadri.
Nazem freaking cat. I mean,
Wes could not be more Canadian. It's the
I mean,
best.
gosh. No, that's not going to happen. Tyson Berry's
No,
going
he's
to
gonna be great.
I'm worried about a lot of things on the Leafs. Tyson Berry's not one of them.
There you go. Anyone else? Anyone at the back? Leafs hat. Gray. Your name? Ben. Everybody
Hello,
say hi.
Ben.
Hello,
Ben's
Ben.
locking up.
Yeah.
Now everyone's on the show. Two-parter. How much do I like chaos? A lot.
Doesn't handle it well.
I got this one for you. How long before the Leafs trade Austin Matthews to Arizona for Phil Kessel?
How long until the Leafs trade Austin Matthews to Arizona for Phil Kessel?
I'm one of those people that I wanted them to trade for Phil Kessel because you got him for peanuts.
Listen,
You got him for nothing.
I know I'm very anxious, but there is no way the Leafs are going to trade Austin Matthews to Arizona for Phil Kessel. That's ridiculous. They're going to lose him for nothing in free agency, and that is the moment I stop making videos, I think. That's when I'm going to, like, open a bakery, like in the Harry Potter prequel. Like, I'm just going to... I'll have to walk into the sunset. I'll move here. I'll move to Port Perry. I'll start working at Old Flame. I'll have to do something else. I won't be able to live with making videos after every Leaf game
we don't-
in a post-Austin Matthews world.
And this is why Jesse and I feel they need to have second jobs because we just don't know how long we got him. But we're going to enjoy the run, right, before he completely self-destructs.
Yeah, so Adam and Jesse, they had their little conversation. How long do you think we got? And then they saw Austin Matthews. 5 years.
5 years. We got
All
5
right,
years of
that's how
Steve
long.
left, so let's enjoy them when we have them. Second part of the question?
How
That
That
was
was it. All right. More questions. Thank you for your question, by the way. Yes, sir. Your name? Hold on. We gotta know you. Noah. What's up,
Noah.
buddy?
Hello, Noah.
Hi, Noah. Do you think? Hold on. Say that one more time.
With the term of Zaitsev's contract, do you think they tried trading him to Pittsburgh?
Trading who
Zaitsev.
to
Sorry.
Pittsburgh? You mean Ottawa?
No. Okay. Do you think that, do we think that the Leafs tried to trade Nikita Zaitsev to the Pittsburgh Penguins? Yes. No. I mean, I think you should look at the GMs doing bad things and call them a lot. So yeah, I'm sure they tried that offer, but I have no idea what the Pittsburgh Penguins are doing. And we always talk about that on this show. Who are the worst teams in the NHL? The teams with no identity. Like we've established with the Edmonton Oilers that our best player is very, very good, is not an identity. And I just don't understand what they're doing. Imagine for a half decade of a pairing of Zaitsev and Johnson. That's chaos. Step your game up there, Ben.
I think
that's chaos.
I think there is something to that, though, because I've been saying, and everybody hates this when I say it, but I believe that if you are going to trade like a Cody Ceci, you need to have someone else in there. And I wonder if you want to re-sign Jake Gardiner, and I know there's a lot of people who are mixed feelings on that. Jake Gardner's a very good hockey player.
I would love to, but
if you could
with
find a complementary right pairing defenseman to go with him, what if it was a CC Muzzin, and then you call the Minnesota Wild and say, we know you've been trying to get rid of Matt Dumba and Jared Spurgeon for some reason. Not both of them, but one of them.
See, here's the thing. That you're going with logical names. I just feel like the Leafs intentionally go after names we don't expect.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
So I always go, okay, who do I think it's going to be? Jared Spurgeon, Matt Dumba. All right, so cross them off the list.
It will not be them.
I have no idea what to
I just
expect.
think you talk about calling bad GMs. Paul Fenton's my guy.
Oh, you do it.
Yeah.
You do it. I just, yeah, the Leafs are in on Jason Zucker? What?
Yeah. Weird.
What are they? What's
So
going
you
on?
think moving Muzzin and Ceci this off season
Why not? I like Jake
for
Muzzin a lot.
new right shot plus Gardner?
Because then you've got, because then you're Riley, Gardner, Dermott,
there are
and then
planets,
your
planets and
Barry,
shooting stars orbiting
or
around Adam's head.
Jared Spurgeon, and then whoever else.
And then fill in.
And then Guy.
Yeah.
And just literally put Guy on the jersey. Doesn't matter.
You could get a guy named Guy.
Yeah.
Played in the WHL.
Preferably.
Medicine Hat Tigers. Guy. We're number 13.
All right. We're going to take our last couple questions here. You, sir, with your with the Leafs. What's your name? Grant.
Grant.
Hi, Grant.
Hi, Grant.
How you doing, Grant? Since the Leafs PK's in Ottawa, what's the PK?
Better.
Yeah. Seriously.
Spezza, I think, is going to play there, and he'll be all right at it.
Really?
Also, DJ Smith was one of the guys that was pushing for the older, slower. He was the guy that wanted Hainsey on the penalty kill. He was the guy that was pushing, I think, for Zach Hyman to take faceoffs and stuff like that. And I think we give Mike Babcock a lot of guff for that. But Mike Babcock is sort of a, all right, I'm going to give you enough rope to hang yourself kind of guy. Like, he really is.
Well,
and
you know
and
what's
that's,
funny?
And so he's not going to get in your way. And I think the reason they were like, okay, DJ Smith and Jim Hiller, you guys can go. It wasn't mean. It was just, you don't fit our system anymore. And I think you can see the effect that DJ Smith had on the Leafs based on the kind of offseason Ottawa's had.
Yeah, well, yeah. The credit I'll give Babcock is when the Leafs special teams especially and the team struggled, we went, damn Babcock. And when they have some success next year, we'll go, way to go, Paul McFarland and Dave Haxtell.
Yeah, right.
So, poor guy. I see they had Andreas Janssen killing penalties for a little while, and then they stepped away from that. I think they're going to experiment with John Tavares killing penalties.
I mean, like a guy who can winning faceoffs?
Yes.
That'd be good, right?
I think
They didn't have a center on their penalty
No.
kill all year.
And that was a
last year.
DJ
Per
Smith
Lindholm.
call.
Which is no.
I know, exactly.
That was a DJ
exactly.
Smith
You're
call.
like, yeah, but a real one.
All right,
Yeah.
let's get our actual center.
Yeah, I mean, it'll still. The best parts of the Leafs PK were mobile, and the worst parts were slow. All those parts are gone, minus Connor Brown, who I thought was great in that role. Kasperi Kapanen's still there. Mitch Marner's still there. Morgan Riley's still going to be back there.
Hyman when he's back.
Hyman when he's back. Did I say Kasperi Kapanen, Morgan
Yeah.
Riley? Travis Dermott, I think, is going to be killing penalties. And Cody Ceci killed a ton of penalties for Ottawa.
He was there.
He was certainly there. But
No more
also,
Hainsey.
he's faster than Hainsey, right?
Yeah.
He's faster than Hainsey. And Zaitsev, I just feel like never really did anything on the PK.
No, he was there.
He
But-
was certainly there.
Yeah.
Sometimes, other times he was in the corner. But I'm not concerned about personnel on the PK. The Leafs still have good players. Put good players on your penalty kill. Put good players on your power play, and you might be surprised when good things happen.
I'm shocked to hear you say that, considering how this podcast started.
No, because all it takes is one bad one.
Ah.
Yes.
Okay. Last question, and then of course we're hanging around, we're having a beer. If you want your book signed and everything, Steve will absolutely do that.
No.
And he won't even be like a baseball player. He'll do it for free. It's crazy. You've already paid your autograph fee by buying the book.
I see a hand.
What's the hand? Well, we've got a few hands.
Oh, we have a few
And
hands.
if you do have these questions afterwards, feel free to just ask us. But what's your hand?
This guy right here, 2 fingers dude.
All right.
That's his brand.
Oh, what was it? What was the thing that he believed that nobody else believed?
I don't remember.
Oh, Eastern Conference Final, Carolina. What's your name? Nobody believes you, Tristan.
Liar. Okay.
I don't even know that your name is Tristan. All right, Tristan. Hi, Tristan.
My question is, what is your super early July Stanley?
Oh. Well, we got Steve's.
Yeah, I say the Florida Panthers.
Stanley Cup
because
prediction.
It needs to be a good team that's also a dumb pick. So I picked the Florida Panthers. Oh, Stanley Cup final. Oh,
Finals.
heavens to Betsy. We're going to see Florida. It's going to be the hottest Stanley Cup final of all time. We're going to see Florida Vegas. The ice is going to be, it's just going to be, there's going to be like frogs and tadpoles. Like it's going to be.
Gators. There's going to be literal gators.
Yeah.
They have to avoid.
I almost said a rematch of the 1996 Stanley Cup final, Colorado Avalanche versus the Florida Panthers. Nazem Kadri in the mix for maximum sadness. But no, I'm going to go with Vegas because they lost in the first round, I think we forgot how ridiculously good they were after they got Mark Stone, who, by the way, is in Vegas now. Yep. So I'll say Vegas, Florida.
Okay, Vegas, Florida. Jesse.
I'm going to say, since Tampa's going to run it back,
Yeah.
I think they're still the dominant team in the East, so I'm going to pick them out of the East. So it'll be Tampa.
That's bold. It's amazing that the first place team is a bold pick.
I know. It's ridiculous.
They won
It's hockey.
It's hockey.
0. They won as many playoff games last year as you or I.
That's factual
So
information.
you think Tampa wins? That you think they win?
Yes.
Okay.
And in the West, I guess Colorado. Just for all the
Yeah.
all the good moves they
They
made.
are really good.
Good-looking team, man.
Yeah, especially if they get Rantanen at a good price.
I think Colorado's not this coming year. I think they're the next year because I think they got a lot of young defense.
They're a little young.
They're
That's why
just
they lose
they need
to
a little more
Tampa.
seasoning. I
Yeah,
think.
their defense is going to be disgusting, but
Yeah.
they're a little young.
I like what Nashville's done.
Do you?
Yeah, I don't mind it.
With Matt Duchene?
Shane,
Yeah, I think that you've got, and I think a few people said this, and I think it's sort of a lazy thing to say, but I'll say it anyway because I'm lazy. Matt Duchene and Ryan Johansson, your two top centers, are not all-star A guys, but they're pretty good B guys, or A- guys.
I'd say Matt Duchene is not a number one center, but he can play one on television.
Sure.
Where I feel like
That's a good line.
I feel like Ryan Johansson can't really do that anymore,
no.
and they're still. It still looks like they're going to move on from Kyle Turris.
Yeah.
So Nashville's a bold pick just because I have no idea what they're going to look like.
I think Nashville's got the experience, and I think we saw that going into the playoffs again this year. And outside of if you watched Boston, if you could stomach watching Boston beyond the first round, when they got down, they never got down, right? Until the finals, that Boston really, really and truly had the mental game figured out, and I think Nashville does too. They've been there before. A lot of them have been to the finals. So I say Nashville, and I'm going to say, again, to my detriment, Tampa Bay, only because I feel like at some point the skill has to win out, right?
Right.
No. No,
Like at
said
some
hockey.
point, the best, they are a super team. There's no way you just can't win with that.
I'm sticking with my prediction from several months ago. When you lose the way Tampa did, something in you breaks. Something in you breaks.
Unless it makes you stronger.
Yeah.
No, they're not Saiyans. That's not how. This isn't Dragon Ball Z, Jesse. They're not getting brought back.
Or maybe they're regular people
This
who
isn't-
faced adversity and
And
now
No!
will be better.
No,
Why-
for
why-
it.
Hey, Jesse, why do we fall?
If you don't
To
speak,
get back up again.
Exactly.
if you don't speak anime, I can't speak that language. I don't know what you're talking about.
By the way, is there anybody in this room who's listen, we're all Leaf fans. We all want the Leafs to win the Cup. Anybody in this room who believes they will?
This year.
This year.
Too many hands.
All right.
Okay, this is the optimistic side.
Yeah,
you
this
guys
is the
are like, no.
We know where the pessimists
This
are.
side has seen some stuff.
Steve's side, my side. Awesome.
Can I piggyback on Nashville for
Sure,
a second?
sure, please.
And UC Saros, he's on the verge of becoming a bona fide number 1 top 5 goalie in the NHL, and I think this might be the year where he's like a top 3 Vezina candidate.
I'm just worried about UC Saros becoming the Carolina Hurricanes of goalies. Every year we're like, this is the year. And then the second, you know what? This is going to be his year because the second you stop believing him is when they make the conference final.
Yeah,
You've stopped
exactly.
believing him.
All right, there it is. UC Saros, Vezina candidate. There it goes.
There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, we just want to say thank you so much for coming out tonight. We're not going anywhere, but the show's over. And feel free to grab beers, and let's do another round of applause for Old Flame Brewery. Thank you so much for having us. Beer is delicious. If ever you are in Scugog, Port Perry, come check these guys out. It's in a beautiful old room. And fun fact about this building.
It set on fire.
Well, there's that, but there's also the NHL jersey angle. Do you remember that story?
No.
Am I right on this one? The NHL jerseys? Yeah. Okay, so the NHL, for the original 6 teams, after this was you can see the picture behind you. There's an old carriage house works, right? That's what this was a part of.
Exposed brick. Adam's losing his mind.
Love this room. I could live in this room. I could sleep on this floor. But what's interesting is upstairs and in this room, they used to make all the jerseys for the original 6 NHL teams in the 50s and 60s.
In this room.
And you are sitting in hockey history right now. This is where the NHL used to order their jerseys out of.
They made jerseys that the Leafs won cups in this room.
Yes. And here's the fun part. When you were a player back in those days, at the end of the season, they would take the jersey back.
What? Like rec league back in when you were 8?
Yes.
And they fined you $3 if you didn't.
They would take the. So that's why, if you talk to any collectors, you don't get a lot of jerseys from that era because they used to take them, peel the numbers off them if you weren't sticking around, and put new jerseys on. Yeah, because they didn't want to pay these guys to make another jersey because NHL owners used to be that cheap. Yes.
The worst.
Yeah. Crazy. Anyway, you're in hockey history. Thank you so much for coming. We love you guys. Woo.
Follow the guys on Twitter at Steve_Dangle, at Adam WYLDE, and at Jesse Blake.
The Steve Dangle Podcast. Brought to you by Panago Pizza. Order at panago.com and stuff your face with deliciousness.